Watching Disney through Matilda's eyes made everything shimmer in a way Jasmine hadn't felt in years. It wasn't just the colors, though they seemed brighter somehow, as if the world itself had been freshly painted overnight. It wasn't just the music either, drifting through the air like a memory you didn't realize you'd been missing. It was something quieter, softer, something that lived in the space between laughter and wonder. It was magic, and for the first time in a long time, Jasmine allowed herself to believe in it again. Matilda's hand fit perfectly in hers, small, warm, and impossibly trusting. Every few steps, the little girl would tug her forward, eyes wide, curls bouncing with excitement. "Did you see that?" Matilda gasped, pointing toward a passing parade float where dancers twirled in sparkling costumes. Jasmine laughed, her voice lighter than she remembered it being. "I saw it, but I don't think I saw it the way you did." Matilda tilted her head. "What do you mean?" Jasmine crouched down to her level, brushing a strand of hair from the girl's face. "You see everything like it's the first time, like it's the most amazing thing in the world." Matilda grinned, "Because it is." And just like that, Jasmine felt something shift inside her. Because once, long ago, she had seen the world that way too. Matt walked a few steps behind them, watching quietly. He didn't interrupt, didn't rush. He had learned that sometimes the most important moments were the ones you didn't try to control. Jasmine glanced back at him, catching his eye. There was a softness in his expression, something steady and reassuring. He smiled, not the kind of smile meant for show, but the kind that said, "I'm here. Take your time, *." She returned it, feeling her chest tighten in a way that wasn't painful, just full. "Come on," Matilda called, breaking the moment as she pulled Jasmine toward a carousel glowing with golden lights. "We have to ride this one." The carousel spun slowly, music chiming in delicate notes. Horses rose and fell, frozen mid-gallop, their painted eyes bright with permanent excitement. Jasmine hesitated for just a second. It had been years since she'd let herself do something so carefree. But Matilda was already climbing onto a white horse, giggling as she settled in. "Sit next to me," she insisted. Matt stepped forward then, placing a gentle hand on Jasmine's shoulder. "Go," he said softly, "I'll be right here." There was no pressure in his voice, just encouragement. So she climbed on. As the carousel began to turn, Jasmine felt the world slow down. The music wrapped around her, the lights blurred into warm streaks of gold, and Matilda's laughter rang out like the clearest bell. "Faster," Matilda shouted, though the ride kept its steady pace. Jasmine laughed again, really laughed this time, and something inside her cracked open. Not in a way that hurt. In a way that healed. Because somewhere along the way, she had forgotten how to be light. Life had taught her to be strong, to be careful, to guard herself against disappointment. It had taught her that magic was fragile, that it could disappear if you leaned on it too hard. But sitting there, with the wind brushing against her face and Matilda's joy spilling over into everything, she realized something. Maybe magic wasn't fragile. Maybe it was patient. Maybe it had just been waiting for her to come back. When the ride ended, Matilda hopped down, immediately grabbing Jasmine's hand again. "That was the best thing ever," she declared. "The best?" Jasmine teased. "Already? We've barely started the day." Matilda nodded firmly. "Okay, maybe not the best, but definitely in the top 5. "Top 5? Matt chimed in as he joined them. "That's a serious ranking system." Matilda considered this. "Yeah, and the castle is probably number 1. Jasmine followed her gaze. In the distance, the castle rose into the sky, its towers catching the sunlight, shimmering like something out of a dream. For a moment, she just stood there, taking it in. "It's beautiful," she said quietly. Matt looked at her. "Not the castle." "Yeah," he replied, "it really is." They spent the afternoon wandering through the park, letting Matilda set the pace. They rode spinning teacups that left Jasmine dizzy and laughing. They shared cotton candy that stuck to their fingers and melted too quickly. They watched a show where characters danced and sang, and Matilda sang along as if she'd known the songs her whole life. And through it all, Jasmine felt something she hadn't expected. Ease. Not the kind that comes from everything being perfect, but the kind that comes from not needing it to be. At one point, they sat down on a bench, the sun dipping lower in the sky. Matilda leaned against Jasmine, finally tiring just a little. Today feels like a dream, she murmured. Jasmine wrapped an arm around her. Yeah, she said softly, it does. Matt sat on the other side, close enough that their shoulders touched. Good dream or weird dream? He asked. Matilda didn't hesitate. The best kind. Jasmine smiled. Because she agreed. As evening settled in, the park transformed. Lights flickered on one by one, turning pathways into glowing trails. The castle lit up in shades of blue and pink, more magical than it had been during the day. Music drifted through the air again, softer now. Matilda perked up, her earlier tiredness forgotten. Fireworks, she exclaimed. They found a spot on the grass, sitting close together. The sky darkened. And then, the first burst of light exploded overhead. Matilda gasped, clutching Jasmine's arm. Did you see that? I did, Jasmine said, her voice almost a whisper. But she wasn't just watching the fireworks. She was watching Matilda. The way her eyes reflected the colors. The way her whole face lit up with pure, unfiltered joy. And suddenly, Jasmine wasn't just seeing the present. She was seeing herself. A younger version, full of wonder, believing in things without needing proof. She felt a lump rise in her throat. I forgot this feeling, she admitted quietly. Matt turned his head toward her. What feeling? She hesitated, searching for the right words. Like anything is possible, she said finally, like the world is bigger than all the hard things in it. He nodded, understanding more than she expected. It still is, he said, we just forget sometimes. Another firework burst across the sky, brighter than the last. Jasmine blinked, a tear slipping down her cheek. But she was smiling. When the show ended, Matilda leaned against her again, half asleep now. Thank you, the girl murmured. For what? For today. Jasmine kissed the top of her head. No, thank you. Matilda frowned slightly, confused. Why? Jasmine glanced at Matt, then back at her. Because you reminded me of something, she said. What? Jasmine took a deep breath. How to see magic again. Matilda smiled, satisfied with that answer, and closed her eyes. They walked slowly toward the exit, the crowd thinning around them. Matt reached for Jasmine's hand this time, and she didn't hesitate to take it. For a moment, they just walked like that, quiet, steady, together. You looked happy today, he said after a while. Jasmine let out a small laugh. I was. Yeah? She nodded, more than I expected to be. He squeezed her hand gently. I'm glad. She looked at him, really looked this time. Having you here made it different, she said.